Take a sip of it. And it's actually gone like a little sour. I didn't know what to expect, right? There was no real flirtation, if I'm honest. You're just kind of like coy and like, oh, I know this is exciting. I'm excited too. Hello! Today we're gonna be talking about how I met my partner, how I met your mother. It's gonna be fun. If you're new here, you might not know, but I've kind of made my career out of bad Tinder dates. Those that stuck around, I hope you guys are happy for me. I'm finally in a good one. I finally know what I'm doing now. Alright, okay, so where do we begin? Chronologically? Fine. Oh my god, exactly a year ago, May 2022. Bam! I was out of a relationship for around 3 to 4 months. I had tried to keep myself busy because I was grieving the end of the relationship, and I was also trying to figure out what I wanted, right? After the novelty of like being able to date again had worn off, I think I was a little bit more jaded. Also because this was right at the tail end of the love bomber situation. So I'm not gonna do a story time on it just because like it's so messy and it was just a lot. But basically I got love bombed within a week. And then when they started treating me very, very badly, I was like, this is weird. We barely know each other for a week. Why are you treating me like this? And then they were also like super rude to like wait staff. I was like, oh, totally glossed over. I was like, I don't want anything to do with this person, but we went on a trip. I had already told this person like we're just going as friends because we had booked it when we were in that love bombing situation. So we went on that trip. And it was horrible. We were alone in the apartment and we weren't talking to each other. So yeah, anyway, I was on Hinge. I was like super jaded at this point. I wanted to like kind of delete the app, but I wanted to go through it like kind of one last time to see if like, I don't know, if there was anyone interesting that I wanted to like continue speaking to. I saw this one profile. It was weird. I don't know, yeah, actually now I'm like really thinking about it because my current partner doesn't like to take a lot of photos. So she didn't really even have a lot of photos on her profile. And I didn't really know too much about her. She's also quite a private person, so I didn't really see much like detail. So we did just start off by making some small talk, but the small talk was quite sincere and it opened up pockets of conversation for other things like traveling and like food and like other stuff, you know, just like career trajectory, stuff like that, like just stuff that we mentioned in our bio that we just kind of wanted to elaborate on. I just didn't want to leave this person hanging because this person had always like sent me like not too long, not too crazy long of a paragraph of like replies, but long enough for me to understand that like, oh, she cares and like she's actually trying to have a proper conversation with me, which I appreciated. And so because I was so bored, I was like, let me just sit down and properly reply her also. And I started replying her properly. Well, she told me like afterwards when we were dating that apparently my replies were like once a week, which is quite bad. I just know that I don't check the apps that often. That's why I only reply like once a week. So I asked her if we wanted to like take this to WhatsApp or something. So today's sponsor could not be more timely. It's Emma Sleep. I've had an Emma Sleep mattress since the first like time I had to buy my own mattress. It was super easy to set up. I had the original hybrid mattress, which I loved by the way, but today I got an upgrade. I got the diamond hybrid mattress, which is very comparable to the original hybrid mattress, which is good because I love the original one. Okay, so let me explain. So both of the mattresses, they have the adaptive comfort foam and the pocket springs. So it gives you a nice amount of support for your back, but at the same time it's not super hard. But the diamond is especially luxe. Their patented diamond degree foam has diamond and graphite particles that allow you to dissipate heat more easily so that you can sleep more comfortably and for longer. And it also has this like motion tech that, oh my god, wait, what is it even called? It's some sort of like motion isolation technology. It just like absorbs all of your motion and it isolates it. So let's say if I'm tossing and turning, my partner doesn't feel it. It already was fine with the original hybrid mattress, so the diamond does it like even better. And that's what I'm saying about the diamond hybrid, and that's why I wanted an upgrade, because it's just like what I love, but better. There's free nationwide delivery and there's also like a 200-day guarantee, so at any point if you don't like it, you can get a refund and they'll come back and pick it back up. It is so convenient, and even with that, right, I never wanted to give it up because it's that good. It's actually my favorite mattress that I've ever owned and ever slept in. So yeah, it's really great. I would say try it out. Also their foam pillows, I have like mad neck issues, and this foam pillow is like a necessity to me. Like I actually miss it when I go travel, so much so that I actually got my partner the foam pillows as well, so that we have them in both houses. I think I also have a 5% discount code down below, so if you want that extra discount, check out the description bar below. But thank you so much Emma Sleep for sponsoring. I love you guys. Thank you for blessing me with my sleep. I don't know if a lot of people know this, but actually I don't really use Telegram. I only use it sometimes to send photos because they don't get compressed, which is funny because my partner is also like that. So we ended up being on WhatsApp. First signs of being a soulmate. And then I was like better able to respond to her because I just like see her replies faster. And I just thought that it was like pretty interesting. Oh, she has a dog, I have a dog. She was traveling, technically I was traveling. And I also like that before the conversation ended that evening, I think she did kind of ask me if I eventually just wanted to like hang out and meet. And I was like, yeah, okay, sure, why not? Aside from this one love bomber and 2 men that I dated, 2 out of 2 men that I dated, everyone else, all of the women and the other like non-binary people that I have dated were all like pretty chill. I'd be friends with them, and I still am friends with some of them today. So yeah, like it was really, really chill. I was like happy to meet someone else and like just hang out, get to know them. Let's go. And okay, I'm gonna be gushing a little bit about her because now looking back upon it, I'm just like, she's just a sweet baby angel. But yeah, she was like, oh yeah, I'll pick you up, of course. And I was like, oh, okay. I don't know why, I was just so kind of like tickled by that. Okay, first of all, because I love a free ride. She said that like, oh yeah, we can bring our dogs along to this place. So I know it's a small thing, but it was such a nice gesture. And I didn't expect that for a first date. It was very sweet. I don't want to say gentlemanly because honestly, I haven't had that kind of treatment by the men that I've dated in the past. Like no one has like really offered to pick me up like that and like offered for me to bring my boy along. Like that's really sweet. But yeah, it was just like that kind of like chivalry that I was like, oh, that's pretty interesting. Like, okay. So I just like had like a good feeling, and I was like, oh, thank you so much. Like that's really nice. Like you don't have to trouble yourself if it's very out of the way, but it was kind of on the way. So we decided to go to Little Island, which is a little brewery off Changi, and it's super chill, it's super nice. Actually a very good first date spot. So then we set a date for next week, and we were gonna go to that place. Okay, this is pretty embarrassing to admit, but on the day of, I actually went back to the app to look at her name, her profile, and what we talked about. It's not that I hadn't been paying attention, but it was almost an intentional distancing from having any expectations from the date. I've tried to change things up, so from not dating at all and then just like settling down with the first few people that I would date, I promised myself that I would date a lot of different people and not have the mentality of like being like, this has to be a successful date, this has to be my person. I've been trying to feel more at ease with the idea of rejecting people and having people reject me. Like I could never do casual dating in the past, but this time around I intentionally wanted to be as casual as possible. So that's why I had to like literally check what her name was, what she did, what our conversation like was about, and like just like a quick run through to be like, okay, it's this person. Yeah, okay, I know. I was like getting ready for the date, and then earlier in the day, oh, if some of you guys follow me on Instagram, you might remember this day, but I did a collaboration with IKEA, and I was doing like a DIY upcycling of an old shelf that I found on Carousel. My hands were like super dry and super crusty, and I had like paint stricken fingers and hands, and I was like, whatever. And like I was like literally wearing sweatpants and a tank top because we were going to like a chill outdoor like brewery. I didn't feel the need to like dress up or impress her. I just felt very comfortable, and I remember feeling like pretty like good, and I was like, yeah, I'm punctual. And then turns out she was early, and I was like, oh shit. So then I went down. I didn't know what to expect, right? It's this like sky blue Toyota. I don't know, it just made me kind of laugh. Yeah, I saw her like leaning against the car, and Taco was inside the car, and I was like, hey. And then I was just like a little bit shy. Like I remember just being a little bit like deer in the headlights almost. Like I literally just opened the gate, and then like there she was, and then I was like, oh, And I also noticed that like she's cuter in real life and that like her photos were like a couple of years old. She grew her hair and she looks kind of cute with this long hair. So I really liked it. I just like didn't really know what to do with myself. And we were just like immediately entering the car. And so I was just trying to like, you know, situate myself. I was just trying to be like, okay, like this is happening. Again, because I didn't do any like research or beforehand, like I didn't Google the place that we were going to. I also wasn't like actively texting her all the way up to the date. I think we just like checked in the night before. Then after that, yeah, then suddenly I'm like in her car, I'm like, eh? And then she goes, oh, by the way, I have something for you. And she pulls out a sugarcane drink with lemon. On my Hinge profile, under simple pleasures, I had mentioned like hot showers, seedless grapes, sugarcane with lemon. And she got me sugarcane with lemon and I was like, oh my god, that's so thoughtful. Ooh, okay, editing Brenda here. I also have an extra tidbit. I didn't know this, but I found out after that she actually also had a packet of seedless grapes in the car, but she thought it was overkill, so she didn't bring it out and she just pretended like she didn't have it. That was so funny. Okay, back to the video. I'm giggling now because like obviously I'm so in love with her and then all of this is just like the start. But at that point I was like, oh, okay, thanks. Like I, again, just like didn't know how to explain it, but I just had this like good feeling like in my heart. I was just like, this is so pleasant. And then I take a sip of it and it's actually gone like a little sour. Because I'm such a huge fan of sugarcane, I know exactly what this situation is. It's just been left there for a while. Sugarcane juice actually goes bad pretty quickly, and usually sugarcane places close up by mid-afternoon. I was just like, oh my god, she must have picked it up like during lunch or like shortly after lunch and just like hung on to it so that she could give that to me like in the evening for our date. I was just like, that's really caring and that's really, really cute. And I was just kind of like, again, like, oh my god, is it like, okay, is this the appropriate time to say I'm chill? Is this I'm chill? Yes, right? You're just kind of like coy and like, oh. And I love car rides, so we started off the date with a car ride already and I'm just like kind of chilling, like looking at the scenery and like talking to her, and we had like a very pleasant conversation. We talked about families right away, a lot of other stuff. I can't remember all of the things that we talked about, and the whole time just felt like I was getting to know a person. Not at all like I was on a date, if there was any expectations. It literally didn't even cross my mind. Like I would just sit down, just watch the boys hang out together. I think I have some photos from that day. Like I'll watch the boys hang out together and then be like, oh, I'm so glad that they get along well. And another thing that I noticed about her at this point was that she would always take the initiative to order, to get stuff and like make sure that we're all settled. That also stuck out to me because usually I'm kind of the one making sure that I'm taking care of my partner. And even in other situations, like with my family, with my siblings, with my friends, I'm kind of always the one to kind of make sure that everyone has everything. So yeah, I just thought that that was like really interesting. Like I had never been taken care of like that before. It didn't seem like she was doing it to impress me. It genuinely seemed like this is the kind of person that she was and that she was happy to do it. Yeah, it just came like very naturally to her and I found that very attractive. We had a very pleasant conversation. Honestly, it was a Wednesday night, I think. And I just thought it was gonna be a chill dinner. I thought I was gonna be home by 10. But when we like looked at the time, it was like 10:30 or like some pretty late. It was like 11 and I was like, oh my god, like we talked for so long. And then we decided to walk the boys along the pier because they had been like, you know, chained to our table legs like while we were having dinner. So yeah, we ended up like taking another walk. Noodles got ants all over his like little feet and we just had to like sit there and pick apart the ants. And I don't know how long she planned to be at that date, but I don't think that we expected the date to end at like midnight. And when she dropped me off, I like didn't really know how to end the date. I don't even think we hugged, you know, we just like bye-bye. And then I watched her drive off and then I went up and then I just like texted her after like, hey, thanks. And then I was like, would you like to meet next week? This was like the first week of June that we met. It was also Pride Month. That's so cute. I found out after I was her first date off of Hinge. since she ended her relationship that ended around the same time as mine, like in January, February. So yeah, I don't know if you guys were expecting some kind of like huge romantic overture, but it was just so pleasant and it was just so nice. And I think that sometimes romance and affection doesn't have to come across in like the most dramatic way. Like there were so many things that she did that were forms of like sincerity and affection and respect during the date that made it just like so pleasant and peaceful. My head and my heart weren't racing, they weren't like all over the place, which I think I always confused with like, I must be in love, like I must be so attracted, like oh my god, like all of these like whoa anxieties, right? I haven't been like, oh my god, what is this person thinking? Do they like me? Blah blah blah. Like it was just what it was. It was just us getting to know each other. I couldn't even quite articulate why I enjoyed that date so much, especially because like we didn't have any kind of physical contact. There was no real flirtation, if I'm honest. Yeah, so I was just like, oh, it's like I'm getting to know like a new friend. And like I was surprised that even, you know, when you meet new friends, there is a little bit of like a getting to know you awkwardness, right? But there was none with her, and I was just like, this is really nice. And I was like, yeah, I just want to hang out with her again. That's why immediately the day after I was like, do you want to meet again like next week? I'll just go through it really quick lah. Yeah, love story, because it's a bit awkward right to end off here on the first date. So next week we went out. We went to this place called Ziggy Zaggy near Kallang Leisure Park, and we had ordered biscuits and gravy. This is one of my favorite memories of us. One of those like, you know those like the southern type of biscuits? Like the whole plate was filled with the gravy. I don't know why, I found it just like so hilarious. I think maybe it's just different from what I expected. So when the server put the plate down, I just couldn't help. I just had this immense like feeling of laughter, and I just really wanted to laugh, but I also didn't want to laugh at her food because she was the one that ordered it, right? And the server was right there. I didn't want to be rude, but I just couldn't help it. Like I had to hold in my laughter so bad. And the moment I just like let it go, she also started laughing. And then like I just felt so comfortable with her in that moment. I was like, oh my god, I can laugh at this like ridiculous thing. Like I know it's maybe not funny to anyone else, but I just thought that biscuits and gravy, that it just looked so hilarious. And then I just like was like, dang, she's really cool. Like I really like her. Like the more I get to know her, the more I like her. So this was also the date that we were talking about like living situations, and I was telling her that I am renting this new place that ended up not working out. And I told her, I was like, okay, I'm looking for a new place, but like, you know, my lease, and I'm stressed and I don't know where else because rents had been like increasing a lot. So after that date, this sweet baby angel was looking around different listings based on my criteria and helping me look for apartments, and she found the one that's 2 doors down from her, and that's how we ended up becoming neighbors. I am dropping another hot detail because I think it's so hilarious, but we didn't kiss for like 20 dates, by the way. Because we were just taking things so casual and so slow. She isn't like a flirty sort of person, so I genuinely was a bit confused if she just wanted to be friends or if she just wanted to date. And I was like not sure if you're just this nice to all of your friends, because she is really very nice. And she's just very caring, just very generous, very like just a sweet baby angel. I don't know how to explain it. So I was like, oh my god, are you actually attracted to me, or like are we friends, or like what? So we've actually had like several conversations about this before we ended up kissing. Our lives ended up like intertwining very fast because of the move-in thing, and then also because before that we realized a lot of like weird things with each other. So one of the things is that our mothers, they ironically live like 5 minutes apart from each other. Probably less than that actually. In the whole of Singapore, they live 5 minutes apart from each other, and they're on the same floor. We were both like Fuchonis, and we both love this thing, which is like Hong Chao Ji. It was all of these like kind of weird coincidences that made the conversations like go on with so much fervor, and then us also meeting so much, and we would just end up like sitting on the bench and talking until like 4 a.m. in the morning. Now knowing that she sleeps by like 12 midnight or 1 a.m. at the most, I'm like, dang, she definitely liked me. I've just truly never like felt this kind of an affinity and a kind of comfort. And I feel like actually the slow burn is what makes this relationship different. Sex kind of like confuses things, right? Like we've both talked about it and we both agree, like sex can kind of mimic that affection and intimacy when it's not there. You just get to know someone else like so much more, and there's so many other things to get to know about them and to talk about, and to really see if this person is compatible for you. So it was just really precious and like beautiful to let the relationship blossom and grow to what it is. So we met in June, and then we dated all the way until September, and then we officially got together. So yeah, that's how I met my current partner, and that's the kind of relationship that I'm in now. It feels like everything I had been through in the past like is worth it, because now I get to love and appreciate her for who she is and how she treats me like so much more. I'm just really smitten. I'm just so in love with her, and she's great. Okay, I'm gonna cut it out. Alright, so I hope this was everything that you've ever wanted from me. If you like this video and if you want to see more story times, I have a playlist. I'll link you guys to the playlist up here or somewhere downstairs. Give me a thumbs up. You can comment below. Have you ever experienced this kind of thing before? Like, I truly haven't. Maybe some of you guys are blessed. Yeah, let me know how you guys met your current partner. Share some meet cutes, please. This would be really cute. And also subscribe to the channel if you want to see more videos. I think I'll have like maybe 3 videos every month, so I might skip a Saturday. Oh, another video coming out that you guys can expect is how I have perfect eyesight without wearing contacts right now. Yeah, it's something called auto K lenses, which is kind of like braces but for your eyes. Stay tuned. I will see you next week. Bye.